Everybody, no matter who you are going to die one day. Everything in this life goes without saying. It has a beginning and it has an end. What do you mean, left side? So what? We already know that. I didn't say you didn't. But what I am saying is that very thing that I just said, it flies over our head every day because we are so caught up in the circus that's around us that we forget that it's just a circus to entertain us. This life is really just a diversion to keep us away from the fact that we will die one day. We spend so much time not thinking about that when we hear about death, we are heartbroken, we all sad, and we look at death as the worst thing that could ever happen. You know why that is? Because we are taught not to focus on death. So when it happens, it takes us by surprise. And that's like the most hardest thing for me to understand. Like death, we see it every day. We see the leaves drop off the trees when the season change, from summer to fall to winter. We see it all the time. But yet when it happens, we act so surprised. We step on ants. We step on roaches like it's nothing. We eat fish. We go to the fish market. You see dead fish all in front of you. And it's like we don't even notice it. No, you good, you good. Appreciate you noticing though. Yeah. Yeah, that's a girl who worked at the grocery store. She noticed I was recording, and you see how she walked by, and she was like, "Excuse me," you know. She was smiling. See, she was a good person, but a lot of people, But sometimes, even when somebody do something good, you have to notice it, and commend them for it. Even if you commend them within yourself. That's all that matters. But back on the subject. We see death all the time. We go to the fish market, we see dead fish. We go fishing. We don't think about, I'm taking a fish away from a fish family. When you go in fishing, you don't think that. Because it doesn't bother you. Because it's benefiting you. You don't care about the fish that you're about to eat. And no, I'm not saying don't eat fish. I'm just making a point. We tend to forget the most important thing, that life revolves around death. Two things in life, birth and death, is guaranteed. And we tend to forget that. And I believe that if we focused more on death, we would live better. You see? And this video is in tandem with the video about the life wristwatch. How many of you all remember that video I did? About if we focused on our time, it would be less problems in the world. If everybody had a life wristwatch, which showed them how much time exactly they had to live. You see what I mean? So if we live like that and we focus more on death, life would be better. We would do things, and really everything I'm saying on this channel, it will make more sense than to a lot of people. You get what I'm saying? If you really focused on death, it would make a lot more sense. everything I say on this channel. But because many of us tend to believe that we're going to live forever and ever and ever in this physical form, that gives way to people saying, oh, well, why do you say not have kids? Why do you call whatever I speak about? They will argue it and challenge it because they don't see this life for what it really is. We're not here to stay forever. How many of you all feel what I'm saying? We're not here to stay forever. Let me walk this way. And what brought me to this, I'm gonna tell you what compelled me to do this video. I was just pushing my cart and I seen this girl, right? And she looked at me and I looked at her. And it was just a stare. Have you ever asked yourself why when people look at you, they don't speak? It's a reason behind everything. Most time when you out in public, you can just look at people. They're not going to say nothing to you. You know why? Because they don't focus on death. They think they got forever to play mind games. You see what I'm saying? So I just looked at her and she looked at me, and that's what compelled me to do this video in the first place. I started laughing. I said, I gotta start recording. That's what I told myself. I said, I got to start recording. I can't let this slip. And, I think about death more than when I was younger, because especially when you're young, you think you're going to live forever. And like I said, I think I said it in a video before, I said, the only thing that's going to matter when you take your final breath is how you feel when you leave here. If you take that final breath and you still worrying about stuff, you didn't live a successful life. But if you take that final breath and you just feel free, you're not afraid of death, when you leave here, it'll be like, yay, I'm going to Disneyland in the astral world. That's how you will feel. I'm going to whatever vacation spot you like. That's how you will feel. I'm not dying, I'm ascending. I'm transitioning to the next level. Cause I've made it a thing in my life that every day, I plan on dying. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by every day in your life you plan on dying? I mean exactly what I said. I'm dying in a sense of leaving old concepts behind. Each old concept of this matrix is simply a fetter that's still around your soul. And it makes you heavy. It's a fetter. And the more fetters you have, the more concern you will have in this life about, the more concern you will have about this world. And the more concern you have about this world, the less peace you will have. See, this is what this channel is all about. It's basically about this. Avoiding a lot of unnecessary things, spending more time with yourself, and becoming one with the real person inside of you, which doesn't need validation by the outside world. That's basically the message of this channel. And avoiding human prison bars, avoiding getting sucked into the organic portal realm, and living that life of freedom. This is just another nugget of truth to go along with the rest of what we discuss. You see, that's all it is. It's real simple. I told myself I'm gonna get me a pizza. What kind of pizza I want for tonight. I'll get it after I do this video. Let me see. Yeah, but that's what it's about, man. Like, I enjoy doing this. Basically, when I do these videos, you getting a glimpse of my mind. This is me even when the camera is off. This is me 24/7. When you think and when you contemplate, what you are doing is basically escaping. Every time you see a new concept which frees you from the old antiquated way of thinking, the traditional way of thinking, you have just moved up to another level. The final level would be complete separation from the body as a conscious being, free of any type of constraints, societal constraints. The ultimate level is being free from even having to eat food. This is what this whole thing is building up to. That's what all of this information is about. Ascension to the point of an ascended master. An ascended master. Because somebody asked me one time, left side of the brain, what is the end game of all of this? The end game is to become an ascended master. Able to levitate. All of those things. That's the end game. But you can't get to that level until you can undo the small stuff. This stuff I'll be talking about on this channel, that's the small stuff. That's the elementary stuff. Learning that people are human prison bars. All of these little mind games people play. People on your job messing with you. Once you can get over that type of stuff, everything from here on out is easy breezy. Once you understand, see, the things on this channel, they sound deep, but really it's the elementary things, because spirituality is so much deeper than that. But first you got to get through the elementary entanglements, you see, before you can graduate to the next level. That's the level that I'm on. And I still have levels to go, you see. The final level, I talked about it in the red light edition I did the other night. The final level is when you can endure to the end and just begin to accept whatever it is. That's the final level. That's where I'm at right now. I'm at the level where I have to accept who I am. You got to accept your height. You got to accept your weight. You got to accept being a male or female. You are just what you are. You got to come to a point of acceptance. You have to reconcile with that fact, you know. Certain things we can't help. And once you get over that, you begin to understand that, you know what, I don't fit in. I'm never going to fit in. You might say to yourself, I'm 35 now. I haven't fit in by now. I'm not going to fit in. You got to just come to terms. Like, you got to come to terms that you're going to die one day. You have to come to terms with the person who you are. That's how you become a better person. You don't become a better person by trying to live up to the standard of another person. That means you trying to be that person. You become a better person when you accept who you are and work on the parts of you that would make you want to look outside of yourself. You see what I'm saying? If you like the body shape of another person, you don't try to be like them. You accept your body type and work on making your body type the best that it can be. And that goes for any other area in life that you're dealing with. If you are an artist, don't focus so much on other people's paintings. Focus on making your paintings the best that they can be. Sometimes it's not even good to look at a lot of other stuff that other people are doing, because you'll find yourself trying to paint pictures like the next person. Then you will never create an original style. You see? Why you think people like what they call primitive societies, why you think they came up with face paint and feathers and all of that colorful jewelry and all of those different designs and ornaments that they wore? Why do you think that is? It's because they didn't have a template to go by. So they would see their reflection. They love color, so they would take some berry juice, right? They're not copying anybody. The first people to put a feather in their head, to put some face paint, an earring, a body marking, or whatever, they wasn't going by another person's template. They probably just one day was just playing with some berries, and the berry juice dried up on their hand. And then the next thing they did was took it a step further. Then they took the berry juice and smeared it down the center of their nose. And then somebody could have looked at them and laughed and said, "I like that," in whatever language they speak. And then from that, it went from taking another color berry and putting it under their eye. You see, football players, they put that black under their eye. So they put an orange stripe under their eye, a red stripe down the middle of their nose. It all sparked from originality. They wasn't looking at others to do what they did. They learned as they went. And then they became the template for other societies. You see? That's how we get all of these different types of food and cultures and customs. That's where it come from. It came from the time when man was living in a world where he wasn't so inundated with Instagram and Facebook and getting all these social media suggestions on how he should act and how he shouldn't act. And out of that void of being in nature, he learned how to create his own thing. And then over time, a tribe over there met up with a tribe over here, and then they saw this tribe dressing a certain way, and this tribe dressing a certain way, and this tribe eating a certain type of food, and this tribe eating a certain type of food. And then over time, they began to swap ideas. You see? Then they started picking up on the different ways of dress. You see? Just like today we eat Chinese food, Italian food, Caribbean food, Polish sausages. We didn't know about all of this stuff in America. It immigrated over here to the United States. Now we know about it. Now you have fast food Chinese restaurants. Then over there they have American food, hamburgers and French fries. You see, so it was all it started out in originality. It's just sad that technology has stifled the growth. Technology can be a blessing and a curse. You know, we don't have to go outside as much. We don't have to hunt. We can order stuff off eBay. You know, we don't have to use our creativity. We can just follow the latest. We can just follow the latest pop culture trend. You see? And because of this, the world is in a zombie state. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying all of that to say, focusing on yourself will keep you away from all of those things. And focusing on yourself will also let you know that concepts like death is nothing to be afraid of. You see what I'm saying? Because we get caught up in the circus so much of what everybody else is doing that we forget that all of these people that you're trying to pay so much attention to, all these people that you're trying to impress, they are going to die. All of these people you're trying to impress, and guess what? All of this, what I'm saying, it came from that one girl that I opened up the video about, who I had stared at. This whole video just sparked from that. You see? But what if I wasn't a person like this? What if I played into her intimidating look that she was trying to send? What if I played into that? I wouldn't have been able to counter the situation with what I'm saying right now. Only way I was able to do that is because I think for myself. Let's just say if I went into a room with a lot of people and they was like, you know, in their group circles and everything, if I didn't see the opposite side of all of that, like I'm saying now, I wouldn't be able to think about it. I wouldn't be able to see myself. I would be so caught up into what they are doing, I wouldn't be an individual. That's the whole thing about this organic portal topic that we speak about. When you're so caught up in the world, the trends, pop 40 music, and doing what everybody else is doing, the spirit can't speak to you because you're so caught up into things like that that you don't even notice death. You don't notice that you are caught up because you're so caught up. That's why you got to just step back sometimes and get focused, just like a camera. You know, you can't read something when you're too close up on it, you're too into it. When you step back from it, what happens to the camera lens? It zooms in, it focuses till it's perfect, till you can see it. But when you all up in it, it's blurry. You can't see what's going on. The same thing applies to what I'm saying. You have to step back sometimes to see who you are amongst them. That's why we say living for yourself and not for others. That's why we say this world is all about what? They living for egotism. When you step back and you get into yourself, you won't have no time for no egotism. Because you will understand that an ego will be basically you trying to live up to somebody else's standard, basically. What I'm saying is when you take time out to yourself, you're not living up to nobody's standard. When you're in the shower, you're not living up to nobody's standard. You in the shower singing, you hitting bad notes, you being yourself because you in there by yourself. How many of y'all sing in the shower? You looking at yourself in the mirror. That's why if somebody busts in on you, you say, hey, shut the door. You get mad and angry and upset because you was finally in your moment of peace when you didn't have to put on for nobody. You see? It's just that as we grow up, we forget about when we was kids and we was in that original mind state. What happens is the older we get, that conformity starts to set in. The programming of the mind it starts to set in. And then when we see people who are free, this is the first thing we say. When you see a person that's free, how you doing? When you see a person that's free, the first thing you say is that person is weird. That's what they say. That person is weird. That person is crazy. When you see somebody saying that, it's two things that they are doing. Number one, you probably never thought about this, but they jealous of you. When somebody say a person is weird and crazy and all of that, they jealous of you. The reason why they jealous is because you are doing something that they are not brave enough to do. You see what I'm saying? You being yourself. They can't be they self. You see what I'm saying? They jealous because you are free. That's why they say that. They say this person is free, so I gotta try my best to make him feel unfree by calling him weird and crazy. He's talented. He has a lot of skills. But look at me. I'm just a robot. I'm so jealous of this person that I'm gonna say this person is crazy. This person is weird. I'm gonna cause a rumor to spread about this person. They're gonna do whatever they can to bring you under because it's rooted in jealousy. Yes, organic portals are jealous of you. They jealous of you. It's just like how the devil is jealous of God's chosen because he lost his position. He lost his position as the angel of light. So now he is jealous. So those organic portals, the devil, he works through them to make us feel bad for being different. What different means is basically chosen. It's just that some people don't know how to express their difference. Some people, now I'm not talking about different like you having a sex change operation. No, that's somebody that's been misguided. I'm speaking about difference in the form of you just see things natural and they will label you eclectic. Eclectic basically means you do things your way, not like most people do it. That's basically what it means. And what you are doing, that's another definition of eclectic and weird. What you are doing, this is what the overseers are saying. What this person is doing is not useful for brainwashing the masses of people. So because his way of life is not useful for brainwashing the masses of people, we got to label him crazy. He's not breaking any type of law or anything. He's just breaking the social norm that we have designed. So essentially, he is a threat if enough people can catch on to what he is doing and start thinking like he is thinking. That's when you become a thought criminal to them. And at that point, you are committing a thought crime. They're going to charge you for thinking the right way. That's a crime in this world. It's called a thought crime. And they will charge you for that and incriminate you. And the way they incriminate you is by labeling you, making it difficult for you in this world. Since women controls the corral, far as men and women getting together, they will make women push you back and not choose you, but just for you being yourself. You see, he's not popular enough. He don't think like us. He don't listen to this music. He don't smoke weed every day. He don't follow Ariana Grande and all of that. That's what it's all about, people. So basically, what I'm saying is, and I'm about to conclude this, everything I'm putting out on this channel is a map book for life. It's not a religion. It's a map book for life. It's a common sense map book for life, for everyday engagements, like walking through the as a matter of fact, most of your spiritual battles are taking place when you're doing minuscule things. What they say the devil, he hides in the details. Most of your, if you notice and if you be honest with yourself, most of your spiritual battles happens at your job, while you at your cubicle, while you at the grocery store walking through the aisles. That's when most of the stuff happens. Engaging with a cashier behind the register, looking at you funny. It's little stuff where the battle is taking place. That's why I be doing these videos in like stores and stuff, because this is where it be taking place. When you out in the public sector, this is when the battle engages. You see? It's not so much taking place when you in a public auditorium. Say if you at a sports event, everybody is just basically tuned into the same thing. So nobody is focused on you at that moment. Everybody's just focused on what's going on the court. You see? But when you are out and about in your day-to-day life and you're not fitting in, see, in a basketball game, in a coliseum, in a concert, if you're sitting down in a lecture hall and everybody's just being quiet and everybody looking the same, and you see what I'm saying? Everybody will be sitting the same. So everybody would be acceptable in situations like that. But when the bell rings, when the class bell rings and everybody lets out into the hallway, that's when you'll see the cliques forming. That's when you'll see who is who. That's when you'll see the isolated people, the loners walking around by themselves. You see what I'm saying? That's when the bullies will attack the loner. And you see what I mean? Like, because you're not in a closed in setting where everybody has to act the same. So that's why out in a public arena, that's when you really test it. Because see, when people are around in large group settings, everybody's on a A game. You see what I'm saying? It's when you just out like I'm doing. Look, just walking up the aisle. Look, that's when somebody comes, walks up. That's when the stuff start happening. What is this person looking at? I wonder what he's thinking about. He's weird. What is he doing? Sir, you shouldn't be right here. What are you doing? That's when they start bothering you. That's when the battle really increases, at those moments. So that's why I do a lot of these videos in a public setting, because I like my videos to look real, like real time life that we deal with, because that's what we up against. We got to train in real life situations.